Hey everybody, and welcome to our final module of the class. As we're getting ready to start, we're starting module 6 for our class here at Rasmussen College on business law. So this will be our final module, my final introduction to you guys for the course overview for each week. This is going to be a very fast week, everybody, because the class is going to end on Tuesday, February 11th. So we do not have much time for module 6, around 5 to 6 days. So module 6 is starting. The initial discussion board posting is going to be due tomorrow, Friday, February 7th. So everybody please make sure to get your postings up today or tomorrow. The reply postings will be due on Monday, February 10th. And then we have a reflection paper that's due on February 11th. Now, if you owe anything from modules 1 through 5, you also must get those submitted by Tuesday, February 11th at midnight Central Standard Time. I cannot accept anything after that, and they will be graded as a 0. Now, also to alert those students who are still missing things, I have not entered zeros in the grade book. They're just a blank right now. So your grade is looking higher than what it actually is. When I have to submit final grades, I'm going to be entering zeros. So if you know what you're missing, you need to get those in, because once I enter the zeros, your grade points will go down. So if you're missing answering live module classroom archive questions that you missed the live classroom on, you need to enter those. If you need to submit assignments, please get those in. If you need to make up anything on the discussion board, you need to also be submitting those as well too, because you have to get those in by the end of the day on February 11th. So please be sure to get those completed. And one other thing too, the live classroom this week has been moved because we are ending on Tuesday, so I cannot hold our live classroom at our usual scheduled time because that would be the end of the class. So module 6 will be held on Monday, February 10th, 2020 from 8 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. So again, live classroom module 6 will be held on Monday, February 10th, 2020 from 8 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. It is on the course calendar that way, and I have listed it in our course overview, which I've already posted this morning. So it is listed there as well too, but make a note, because if you go on there Tuesday, we will not be holding class. That gives everybody enough time to adjust their calendars and to attend if they can. And it also gives everybody a day to make sure they can listen to it and get the archive poll question answered correctly prior to the end of the day on February 11th. So remember, again, live classroom module 6 has been moved till Monday, February 10th, 2020 from 8 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. In our last module this week, we are looking at the difference between ethics and law, and we're looking at the relationship between how ethics impacts law, or how ethics can lead to new laws or affect law. So we have some course objectives we are meeting. They are listed in the course overview as well too. We're going to differentiate between law and ethics. Sometimes things could be unethical, based on morality and based on personal ethics or ethics that our businesses have established in terms of a personal code of ethics or even a professional code of ethics, because some professions like lawyers, doctors, CPAs have their own code of ethics. Those standards sometimes are higher than what the actual legal standard is. So sometimes law and ethics do not go hand in hand. You might be doing something legal, but it also might be unethical. But there are going to be instances where you might be doing something that's both unethical and illegal. So there are things that comes together. But we will look at the difference between ethics and morality and law when it comes to business operations. We're going to look at cases this week and discuss how there could be a breach of ethics out there. So we will look at and make the determination of when has somebody breached the code of ethics for their profession, for their internal code of ethics for the business, or even their own personal code of ethics that people know from right from wrong, but they still did it anyway. So we'll be looking at those kind of things as well too. And we'll also be making the arguments of why we think ethics are necessary in the business world. We want our businesses to be good corporate citizens. We want our businesses to explain themselves in terms of how they operate. And we don't want them to just be about the bottom line and making profit. We want them to do the right thing in certain situations. We want them to abide by all the laws they're following, all the rules and regulations of administrative agencies that they're following, like OSHA is listed on here as a good example, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. So we want them to follow those kind of regulations. We want them to be in compliance with them. We want businesses as an entity itself to have a good sense of morality and ethics, because we don't want to have our businesses do things and cut corners that are going to not only impact themselves, but their employees and the surrounding communities and us as customers and citizens as well too. We want businesses to model those ethics. And we also want to determine if new business related laws are necessary. We want to look and examine and see when laws might be needed because companies are continually engaging in unethical practices. We saw this in the early 1990s with the banking crisis, where CEOs put their own personal greed above even protecting and doing the right thing for their companies and corporations. And that's why we saw businesses such as Bear Stearns and Enron go out of business, because greed took over and those individuals harm the businesses and even put themselves above what's in the best interest of their businesses. So those are a lot of the objectives we are looking at this week, everybody, and it should be an interesting week to see how we meet those objectives, and we'll be examining those both on our discussion board and in our live classroom. And again, live classroom is a different day and time this week. It's on Monday from 8 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, February 10th. So please make note of that. Initial discussion board, again, is due tomorrow, February 7th. Replies are also due at the end of the day on February 10th. There's one paper this week, a reflection paper, due by the end of the day on Tuesday, February 11th. And any outstanding work from modules 1 through 5, which you should have notice of what you've not submitted, is also going to be due during that time period. If I do not receive it, I will enter zeros in the grade book, as my final grades will be due within 2 days after the class ends, and your grade point average that you're seeing right now is going to be impacted by that. So when I enter the zeros, it will probably go down if you have not submitted things. So again, please make sure that, guys, my office hours again are Tuesdays and Sundays from 9 to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you need me for anything else, please always feel free to message me on our course messages, as I always respond to everybody within 24 hours. And you can always see me again in my office hours. There'll be 2 office hours left, both on Sunday of this week and Tuesday of this week. With that, everybody, have a great week.